What's up, vinyl community? This is Drop the Needle Records, and this week what I'm going to do is finish up showing some records I got on my trip to Northwest Indiana. I had a really great time visiting family, and I never got a chance to show some records I got at the record fair. My niece got me a record as well. And I got a lone RSD purchase from Record Store Day when I got back home for sure too. So I'm going to change it up a little bit this week. But before I get started, if you would, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helps channel out. I love interacting with everybody. Everybody's been really kind. I also do a YouTube Shorts as well during the week. I do a Today in Music History, so if you're interested in knowing about Today in Music History, check out that during the week. But let's get to it. So I'm going to change it up this week. I'm going to start out with the Grail. I actually got a Grail when I was at the record fair, and this is a record that I've wanted. Kind of goes with my grunge collection. I've been kind of lucky a little bit with some of the records I've been able to find. So I was able to pick up 1994 Pearl Jam's Vitalogy. It's one of my favorite albums from the grunge era for sure. It's a sealed OG. It's actually kind of funny because I have a sealed OG 10. So just kind of walked into it. The price tag wasn't the price. I was able to get it at a good deal, and so I definitely picked that up. So again, on this, I love, trying to look at some of my notes here. Spin the Black Circle is a really good song. Have Nothing Man, Not For You, Whipping, and Corduroy, of course, one of my all-time favorites, Better Man and Immortality. So I was stoked when I was able to pick this up for my collection for sure. So let's keep it going. At the same record fair, I was able to get one of my favorite funk albums of all time, 1975 Parliament's Mothership Connection. I absolutely love this album. It's been sampled so many times by hip-hop artists for sure. Dr. Dre definitely stands out. I love the title track, Mothership Connection, Unfunky, UFO, and of course, Give Up the Funk. So I was able to get Parliament Mothership Connection. So I was very happy to put that in the collection for sure. Also started getting into prog. So I was able to get at the record fair as well, King Crimson's Lark's Tongue in Apspic. It's from 1973. It's one of my favorite prog albums for sure. The cover itself doesn't look great, but the LP is in fantastic shape. But there's a part 1 and a part 2 on this album with some songs in between. But of course, everybody talks about their first record, but I almost want to say that I enjoyed this one a little bit more. Might stand on my own side on that. But if you haven't heard this album, for sure, check it out if you're into prog. Another one I've seen a lot of people pick up the reissue. I want to say, like, was it last year? But that is Little Feat's Waiting for Columbus. This is in 1978. This is an original. Everybody was talking about the reissue. My niece wanted to pick me up something, and I said, I saw this. I'm like, well, I'm going to give that a shot for sure. This absolutely sounds amazing. If you don't know Little Feat, I would describe him as a Southern rock jam band vibe, kind of, but kind of laid back a little bit. Gives me a little bit of that Grateful Dead vibe too. When they start to jam out, it actually, I hate to say it, kind of gives me the Dave Matthews Band vibe as well. Love me some Dave. Has a lot of great horns in it, some keyboards. If you haven't listened to this, I definitely recommend you checking it out for sure. So that's Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus. Another one I picked up when I was up there was AC/DC's Flick of the Switch. Again, I was able to get this at a really good deal. Anytime I see AC/DC albums in good shape, it seems like they're 20, 25 bucks, but I was able to get it for like 10 bucks and I didn't even think about it. Album was in great shape, but the self-titled song, Flick of the Switch, is great. You got Nervous Shakedown and Guns for Hire for sure. So I was really happy to add this to my collection for sure. Another one I picked up was another prog album. I got Nectar's Remember the Future. This is a great prog album for sure. I hear so many different genres when I listen to this album. And the first thing, right when it first starts out, it almost sounds like the start of a funk song. So I am taken back anytime I listen to this album. Seems like anytime I see it, it's never at a good deal. People know what they have, but I was able to get it for $5. Yeah, there's ring wear on the front and the back, but again, the LP looks good. I figured down the road I'll find that cover in a good shape, but that's kind of where I'm at in my vinyl life right now. If the LP is in really good shape, that's what I care about the most. And then if I see the cover down the road that's in better shape, I can always upgrade the cover. So I was very happy to pick up this. So this is Nectar Remember the Future from 1973. If you haven't listened to this album and you're into prog, listen to it. If you haven't gotten into prog before and you're curious, start with this. I think you'd really like it. Another one I got was Bohannon Alive. I was able to get into Bohannon because I was listening to, I want to say, Herbie Hancock, Man-Child, on Apple Music one day, and when you're done, it plays a random song, and it was a Bohannon song, and I was into it right away. So I was able to pick up Bohannon Alive. This is my third album now. Don't know a lot about this album, but the other two that I have are great. So it's a good funk disco vibe. If you're into that sort of thing, stream it and see if you're into it. And if you see it out in the wild, pick it up for sure. So I'm excited to listen to this one. Another one I picked up was Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. I don't have this on LP because it seems like every time I find it, the album is torched or the cover is just absolutely trash. So I was able to get this for like a couple dollars, and the LP is in really good shape. So again, I was excited to pick this up. It has very good rock vibes for sure. Just, Ted Nugent really thrashes on this song for sure, on this album, I mean. So again, very happy to add Hair of the Dog to the collection. Another one I picked up was basically a blind buy. I got the Thief soundtrack. Started getting into soundtracks a little bit. I saw that Tangerine Dream was on here, did the soundtrack for it. So I said, I'm going to try it. I know Tangerine Dream, they've done a ton of stuff. So I listened to it, took a chance, has really good synths in it, has that 80s synths vibe. I really enjoyed it, so I was happy to get it. I got it for $3, so I couldn't pass that up for sure. Another one I picked up was another soundtrack, White Nights. Saw the hype on here for sure, and White Nights has Gregory Hines in it. Has Phil Collins. It says Separate Lives, but I got it. It says it's a promo, but it's not white label. There was a lot of these promos that came out in the early days. So I got it for $1. I couldn't pass that up for sure for $1 for a movie that I watched when I was younger. I know I kind of did it on my video, was it last week or the week before, that I picked up Boston's self-titled. I actually got another one too. Didn't realize it till I got home. But again, anytime I see them where I live, they're like $20, $25. I got it for a couple bucks, and the album looks really, really good. The cover does, and the LP is in really good shape too, VG+. So I figured I could get rid of it to someone who needs it. And finally, I said I would do the RSD choice. The one I really wanted, I was able to get randomly. I wasn't able to go out on record store day, so my local record store at Park Avenue. On the next day, what they do, you can do an online purchase. So as soon as it went on, I went and was able to grab Gandalf. I couldn't believe I was able. I just thought it was not going to go through for the purchase, so it did. So I was excited to pick this up for sure. It's the only one I really wanted, and plus record store day prices are getting out of control for me. So if I see something that I want, I'll get this. This is cut by Kevin Gray. It's a limited edition of 1500. Again, I'm very stoked to have this for sure. So those are my pickups from the vacation I went on. I was glad I was able to spend some time with family, and I've since being back, I've kind of halted all of my vinyl purchases. So next several videos I have planned are going to be some rankings and things like that. If you have any suggestions down below, please let me know. But again, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. But until we see each other again, vinyl community, peace.